Good day, my name is Bluesuit and today I'll be going over my review of the relaxing, atmospheric, turn-based, roguelike, resource management strategy survival migration simulator known as Far as the Eye. And as far as the eye, you build mobile villages and travel with your tribe towards the center of the world called the Eye. At the end of every age, or blink, your pupils pack up their lives and head out on their great pilgrimage. Each journey's map has several stops you'll have to make, and at each one you can unpack your caravan and build up your village so that you can survive until the next stop, as you slowly make your way to the safety of the Eye. Along your journey, you are constantly hounded by antagonistic rising waters, essentially a big wave of water that comes and destroys your pupils and their village if you stay too long at one of the stops. And as this is a roguelike, if you fail to make it to the Eye, it's game over. So you gather what you need and move on until finally reaching the center, where your pupils can meet up with other caravans and enjoy a time of peace before the next blink begins. As far as the Eye has 3 game modes. The first I'd like to talk about is just called Play, where you can play as one of 4 tribes as you guide them through their journey to the Eye. Each tribe has its pros and cons, but they generally get harder with each passing tribe. The second is a custom game mode where you can set whatever parameters you want on whatever kind of maps you want to play on, and I think this is where most players who really enjoy the game are going to spend most of their time. And finally, the last gameplay mode is called Campaign Mode, and it's where I would suggest most players to start off. You work through the stories of a handful of tribes who each have different stories and are at different stages of their journey. It's a great place to start because it also serves as an extended tutorial for the game. The first tribe of pupils centers around Oku the Vigilant and involves only the most basic mechanics of the game. You unpack your first caravan and begin the process of gathering food and resources to grow your mobile village before moving on to the next stop, also known as a halt. Over the next 5 chapters, As Far as the Eye introduces you to most of the game's core mechanics. A good bit of the turn-based base building will be familiar to veterans of the genre, but there are a few things that set As Far as the Eye apart and make it feel very unique. The biggest of these is definitely the skill trees. Your pupils aren't just mindless citizens or zerglings, but rather each one comes equipped with a vast skill tree so that they can better serve the greater good. Every pupil begins at the center of that skill tree and works its way outward depending on what tasks you set it to do. So if you always have the same pupil doing all of the hunting or all of the mining, they'll slowly start to unlock perks that make themselves more proficient, and in doing so also changing their appearance to make them stand out more from the other pupils. And not only does each job have 15 unlockable perks, but there are even 13 different jobs in the game that your village will need to survive the journey to the Eye. In addition to the many hunter-gatherer positions available, there's also the Druid class that enhances the game's more mystical mechanics, like discovering relics or soothing the world's auras that protect resources from would-be scavengers. Much of As Far as the Eye's world is tied to nature and how punishing it can be to those at her mercy. As the wave chases you to the Eye and gets ever closer to wiping out your caravan, there will be natural disasters called vagaries that stand in your way. It serves as a way to keep players from lingering at a halt to soak up resources as the vagaries get increasingly worse the closer the wave is to you. Eventually, lightning will be scorching the landscape and plagues will be ruining your food, so it's often best to stock up on the essentials for travel and move on. The other major difference between this and other city management simulators is that it's a city management roguelike. But not only do you start over after each run, but you also kind of start over in between each halt, with some exceptions to the latter. As you're building your caravan, each building can either be built permanently for cheap or as a mobile building for a bit more resources. Then when it's time to pack up and move to the next halt, you can stow your extra resources and mobile buildings to take with you as long as you have the space. So it's really a roguelike between runs and a roguelite between halts. So while it has some very deep mechanics that tactically minded individuals are going to relish, it's a much more casual experience that lacks the grand scale that many players have come to enjoy from the genre. Additionally, once you get through the 8 or so hours of missions, it does become a procedurally generated roguelike after that. Right now you can pick up As Far as the Eye on Steam for $25, but its real value falls just short of that. It's a beautiful and relaxing game with a complementing soundtrack. On top of that, it has some great deep mechanics that take time to master and yet feel rewarding. This is a high quality game, but with how much actual quantity there is, I'm valuing As Far as the Eye at $23, and I would recommend it to fans of resource management city building titles who are looking for a relaxing game to play that doesn't consume all of their time. I hope you enjoyed this review of As Far as the Eye. Come see me on Twitch where you can watch our reviews in progress 5 nights a week. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Until next time, peace!